Hello, it's Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be simplifying and multiplying rational expressions. Let's first start with simplify. So just like we're simplifying fractions, 12 and 36, we can divide both by 12, and so this is going to reduce to 1 over 3. So that's taking care of 12/36. And then we have b to the first divided by b squared. So remember, we subtract their exponents. This is b to the -1, so I'm going to put it in the denominator, and that's our answer. Number 2, let's divide everything by 8, divided by 8, divided by 8. So I'm going to get 4 over 3. And then again, I have a to the first divided by a squared, so it's going to be a. I'm doing the same thing here. It comes out to that -1 exponent, so it's going to go in the denominator. Number 3, 21 over 56. So let's divide everything by 7. I'm going to get 3 over 8. And now let's take care of n. So that's n to the first divided by n to the third. So we subtract their exponents. We see that it comes out to n squared. So I'm going to put it in the denominator because remember, it's a -2. So that -2 gets put in the denominator, it turns positive. Number 4, I'm going to have to first factor out a GCF in the numerator here. So what we have the greatest common factor. And so I'm going to factor out greatest common factor of 4. And I showed this to a student the other day. If you are unsure how to find the greatest common factor, what you do is you take the 20p and you take the 36. It is positive. If it was negative, I would bring that over. And I split them up. So I said this is 4 times 5 times p. So it's almost like a factor tree. All right, 36 can be 4 times 9. And so the greatest common factor is 4, and that's what I picked out. And as you can see, it's in common here. So that's what I'm going to pull out first. I'm going to put my fraction bar with my 24p squared in the denominator. From here, I'm going to set up parentheses, and I'm going to write what's left. So from 20p, I have 5p left. And from 36, I have a positive 9. And so that, using a factor tree, is how we can factor out the greatest common factor. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce 4 and 24 by 4. So I'm going to get 1 over 6p squared, and then I'm going to bring over my 5p plus 9. And that's it. That's my answer. If you want to erase your 1, you can either way. Okay. Number 5, 9b plus 90 divided by b plus 10. So first, let's factor out a greatest common factor, GCF, from the numerator. And so here the GCF I'm going to have is 9. So I'm going to put 9. So from 9b, if I factor out, I have b. And from 90, if I factor out, and when I say factor out, I'm talking about dividing out. So 90 divided by 9 is 10. So I have b plus 10 divided by, let's see what's in the denominator, b plus 10. Now here's where the fun begins. If you see you have a binomial on top of b plus 10 and down below b plus 10 here, because they're the same, we can cross them out. And now we're really getting to simplifying because the answer here is just 9. I love these because you're going to have a hint of what the factor is going to be. Number 6, n plus 5 divided by n squared minus 25. Now you'll see these factors around the room, n squared minus 25. So what that factors to is n plus 5 and n minus 5 because these are both perfect squares. So n times n is n squared, -5 times +5 is -25. And the middle term will cross out here. We can talk about that and I can show you more about perfect squares here. But in the numerator, we have n plus 5, and yes, you guessed it, we can cross these out. There really is a 1 in front, so this reduces or simplifies to 1 over n plus. Whoops, I crossed out the wrong one, everybody. Let's rewind a little bit. Pause the video, n plus 5 and minus 5, and so I need to cross out these two. There we go. And so I have 1 divided by n minus 5. Almost made a little mistake, but I did. Okay. Number 7, we have 14k squared minus 18k divided by 12k plus 3. So first, let's factor out the greatest common factor here. I'm going to put 12k cubed here. Okay. So if you want to, again, 14k squared, -18k. All right, let's say 14 can be broken down to 2, 7, and k times k. Okay. Negative 18 can be broken down to 2, negative 9. So what do these factor trees have in common? 2. Oh, sorry, I forgot the K and K. Forgot that K right here. Okay, so and K. All right, so our greatest common factor is 2K. So let's see what we have left. So that's out. So what we have left from 14K squared is 7K. That's out. And what do we have left from negative 18K? Negative 9. So that's how you factor it. Now, we don't have a 7K minus 9 down here, so that's actually going to be staying in our equation, 7K minus 9. There's nothing to cross out like here, so that's just going to stay. But we can reduce 2/12 to 1/6, and we can reduce K to the first divided by K cubed is K squared. Oh, not there. Is K squared, because 1 minus 3 is negative 2, so it goes in the denominator. So this is just your answer right here. And you could put a shit more together if you want. Okay, number 8, we have to factor the trinomial. So that's what multiplies to negative 6 and adds to negative 7. So multiplies to positive 6. 1 and 6, okay. But we have to add 1 and 6 to get a negative number, so they're both going to be negative. And then v squared, v, and v. Divided by, oh, look at that, v minus 6. So one of these is going to match up. So that's how you could know what each factor is. So those match up, so what's left is v minus 1. Okay. From here, 5m cubed minus 45m squared divided by m squared minus 81. This is a pretty good one to do, because in the denominator, these are both perfect squares. So it's going to be m and m, 9 and 9, minus and plus. Okay, that's how we do these. In the numerator, we're going to take out a greatest common factor, 5m squared. So they both can be divided by 5, and you always take the one out with the smallest exponent, because this doesn't have any more to give. It can only give 2. So that's, you factor out this one with the smallest exponent. So if you don't want to go through all this, you can just think about it as the smallest number I could take out, m squared. What do we have left from here? We have an m minus 9, and guess what? You got it. These are going to cross out. So your final answer is going to be 5m squared over m plus 9. That's it. All right, why don't you try the other 3, and then I'm actually going to show you the answers, and I will go through them as I show you the answers, just to keep the video on the shorter side. I feel like I've been doing videos that are too long. So pause. Going to take out a greatest common factor and see. I bet you're going to cross things out. So don't go automatically to crossing things out. You have to take out the greatest common factor first. So GCF is first. Okay, pause it and we're back. All right, here we go. Number 10. So the greatest common factor here is 10. If we take 10 out, we're going to have 3n minus 2 left in the numerator, and if we take 10 out here, I have 7n minus 2. And so the 10s will cross out, so our answer will just be 3n minus 2 divided by 7n minus 2. You can't go any further with crossing out. You cannot cross the 2's out, because you can cross out only when it's linked by multiplication. That's it. Just like this one, linked by multiplication, we can cross these out. We can only cross out. So this is where we stop. We cannot cross anything else out. So please, that's a common mistake. Number 11, the numerator, we have to multiply to 40 and add to negative 13. Negative 8 times negative 5 is a positive 40. Negative 8 plus negative 5 is a negative 13. You can even do that. Negative 8 times negative 5 equals 40, so that checks out. Negative 8 plus negative 5 is negative 13. That checks out. So that's how I find the factors, and then just k times k. Greatest common factor in the denominator is 5, so we factor that out. K minus 5, those cross out. I have k minus 8. And for number 12, greatest common factor in the numerator is 2. I have b plus 8 left. Factoring, I need two numbers that multiply to negative 8 and add to 7. That's 8 times -1 is -8. 8 plus 1 is +7. We see that the b plus 8 are able to be crossed out because it's all linked by multiplication here. We can cross them out. So I have 2 divided by b plus 1 left over, and that's our answer. Okay. Now for multiplication. So when we multiply, we can do this a couple different ways. And I was actually talking to someone the other day, and they like to just multiply across and then reduce. And some others really like to reduce the fractions and then multiply. So what I'm going to do here is I see it's 4 divided by 2b times 8b divided by 9. I'm going to reduce because we can reduce this. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. And so this reduces to 2 over b. And now I can multiply. 2 times 8 is 16b. b times 9 is 9b. And we're done. So it's 16b over 9b. You're absolutely right. We can cross the b's out, so we weren't necessarily done. Now we're finished, 16 over 9. Okay, so if we can cross things out, we can do that. For this one, can we reduce? Absolutely. Let's first reduce 10a over 6a squared. So I'm going to reduce it by, let's see, let's reduce it by 2. So this is going to be 5, and then this is going to be 3. And let's reduce 8/10. Let's reduce that by 2. So this is 4 over 5. All right. I'm not going to reduce our a's. Let's just multiply across. 5 times 4 is 20a squared. A times a is a squared. 3 times 5 is 15. A squared times a to the first. We can add them, a to the third. And now we can go even further. We can divide 20 by 5, and we can divide 15 by 5. So we're going to get 4 over 3. And let's divide these. A squared minus 3 is a to the -1. So the a goes in the denominator, and we're here. Now, there are a lot of steps to this. You could have just multiplied across and then reduced. You could have canceled out the 10s and the a's. There's so many different ways to do this. This is a really good thinking one, and it could be used for a thinking task. It would be really cool to see how many people do it a bunch of different ways. So if you don't like this way, call me over and you could say, hey, can we do this first? And then we can work through it. So, okay. Number 15, first, what we can do is let's find a greatest common factor. Let's just take it like this. Is there a greatest common factor? Absolutely. So we can, greatest common factor is 7, a minus 2 over 7 times 1. Is there a greatest common factor here? Yup, 6, a plus 9. And because it's multiplication, you can just cross out the 7s if you want. Let's do that. Let's cross out the 7s because that's where I went. And then you just bring everything together. This is 1 times a minus 2, so this is just a minus 2 divided by 6a plus 9. Nothing left to cross out, so you leave it. So it's, if you want to bring them together, so if we brought this together without doing the greatest common factor, this is multiplication, so this is just being multiplied. 40n over n plus 8 times n minus 1. When you bring them together, you have to make sure that you use parentheses. That's all that what I think, because it helps you keep it separated in multiplication. And now from the numerator, I'm going to factor out a 5n. They both can be divided by 5. This has the lowest exponent, n to the first, so that's what I'm pulling out. What do I have left? So here I have n plus 8, and in the denominator, n plus 8, n minus 1, and I can cross those out. That's the fun part. Once you start being able to cross things out, you know, oh, I feel like I'm on the right track. This is an n and not an h. Okay, so it really is finding a greatest common factor, bringing it all together. So for this one, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to bring it all together. I'm just going to factor what I can factor and then cross out. All right, I can't factor 6x squared. I can't factor x plus 1, right, multiplication. Can I factor 8x plus 12? Yes. I'm going to take out a 4. I have x plus 3. Okay. Sorry. 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3. All right, let's see. From here, what can I factor out? I can factor 12 and 18. I can factor out a 6. Which one has the lowest exponent? 2, so x squared. What do I have left? Guess what? 2x plus 3. Okay, you can bring them together, or what I like to do is I like to cross things out. 2x plus 3 crosses out with 2x plus 3. Guess what? This is so nice. 6x squared crosses out with 6x squared. So now let's write down what we have left over. We have 4 in the numerator, and we have an x plus 1 in the denominator, and that's it. So I really like doing it this way. I like factoring, crossing things out because it just makes it easier. I don't have to worry about parentheses everywhere. All right, 18, let's factor. So I could take out a 5n. I have n minus 5. I can't factor this, so n minus 5 times, can't factor 1. And down here, what multiplies to negative 63 and adds to 2? N. Let's see, multiplies to 63. I'm going with 7 and 9. I got to do a positive 2, so negative 7 plus 9. So negative 7 times 9 is negative 63. Negative 7 plus 9 is positive 2. That's what I wanted here and here. Let's cross things out. I can cross these out. Anything else? Nothing. I didn't have to factor that because I don't have anything else that crosses out. So my answer is this. And plus 9. If you wrote it as multiplied out, n squared plus 2n minus 63, that's fine as well. I factored it out just to make sure that we didn't have anything to cancel out. Okay, so let's just write down a couple steps that we're doing here. And again, these can be done in a lot of different ways, but just the different ways that you're doing it just could be reordered. So what are we doing here? We're greatest common factor and factoring general. And then we're crossing out and rewriting. And so you don't have to do these in this order. You can do them in whatever order that you want, however you want to think through it. So we have 4 more left, and what I want you to do is I would like you to take these steps and try these practice problems on your own and pause the video, and then we'll be back. All right, hopefully you're back. Hopefully you tried some of these on your own. I am going to show you the answers and work through them. So number 19, you can't factor 1 over 4x, but you can factor 4x squared plus 28x. So I took out a 4x. I have x plus 7 left, 10x on the bottom. We can cross out our 4x's here and here, and I just rewrote what we have left. X plus 7 divided by 10x, and that's it. You're done. Answer. Okay. 20, 1 over b plus 7. We can't factor. We can factor the numerator here. What multiplies to negative 7 and adds to negative 6, negative 7 and positive 1. And then we have b over minus 7. So this should give you a hint because you're going to cross something out. So you know if it's b minus 7 here, it's going to be cross something out. So we're going to cross those out, rewrite what we have left over, b plus 1, and then this should be b plus 7. I made a little error. B plus 7 comes down here, and this is our answer. Good thing I'm reviewing this. Okay, number 21, 8k cubed. I put a little line through it. 8k cubed minus 48k squared. Let's factor on 8k. We have k minus 6 left. Ooh, that is canceling out nicely. We can't factor any of this left, but we can cross out 8 and 8. And we can, this is k to the first, so we have k to the first and k squared, so k to the 1 minus 2 gives you k to the negative 1, and so our answer is just 1 over k. Remember, if this is negative, it goes in the denominator. And then 22, Let's factor the numerator, n plus 7, n plus 9. We can't factor the denominator. Here, we have n plus 9. We factor the denominator. Notice they're factors so that we can cross them out. So nice. And we can cross these out. So what do we have left over? We have an m plus 9 in the numerator. We have an m minus 10 in the denominator. And so this is your simplified answer. Okay, this has been simplifying and multiplying rational expressions. I hope it helped.